We got some season's greetings from David Stats this week on what the next Galactic season will look like for 7.0 in February. With that hot off the presses, we've brought on Intisar to talk about his interview with David and get all the details. That and more on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast aspect today is EPC 411. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Max, I could tell you that we did a bunch of Feast of Prosperity stuff during MFN this week for Total Galactic War to get conquest points, or that I've been leveling 2 pub characters this week for the same reason. I actually deleted 2 that I did from the last Total Galactic War. Started them over.
Yep.
Or all the other conquest things I've been doing this week, but I would like to move right along because tonight I'm really happy that we have Intisar with us. So let us turn to Intisar. Welcome. And, tell us what you've been up to. Actually, I want to say first, Intisar writes a really interesting blog called This Week in Orabesh. And as a content creator, Max and I know sometimes it's not easy to come up with interesting ideas. But your blog always has an interesting take on stuff, so I appreciate that. So anyway.
Thank you.
How are things going with you?
Pretty good. Since we're just kind of waiting on the expansion, I've been taking it easy. I've been doing the feast, and last week there was the soup event. I like those events a lot. I like stuff where you don't have to fight things. So I'm enjoying, serving people food, throwing stuff into pots, and just having a good time with that. And but game-wise, I'm sort of mainly working on some achievements, mainly like equipment set achievements. I had been working on one of the Kai Zyken Duxon sets, but my luck this year has been terrible.
And now he's no help at all.
Yes, so I'm just getting stuff that you can buy from the other vendors right now. Maybe when they fix them next week, hopefully I'll be able to finish off that set.
Yeah, which we have some news on that we'll get to. But yeah, they will be fixing them. They weren't going to, but they will be. Yeah. Well, that's excellent. Good to hear, and really good to have you on. Thanks for coming on. We'll dig into that interview in detail. I also, same as you, Seema, I deleted a couple of characters to get ready for Total Galactic War. Delete them, recreate them, level up to level 9 or level 10, just on the starter planets. Make sure they're added to the guild the day before the Total Galactic Conquest Week starts. And now we've got a Total Galactic War Conquest Week going on. We're on the PTS, so I can't bring up the screen, but we have invaded, what, Oricon? Did we do?
It was Onderon.
We had to choose between planets. And we always watch which planets have, like lower point totals, which planet's Sanctuary is not on, so that we have a shot at winning. And it came down to like 3 O planets that were the most optimal for us to go after. And they said, "What do you think, Max?" And I said, I can't tell any of the O planets apart, so somebody else is gonna have to guess. Where's my meme? I have it here. I made up this meme. Oh wait, no. That's the wrong one. Where's the completed meme?
And our resident statistician, who usually helps us decide which planet to do, had the really bad timing to go and have a baby.
Yeah, but a really cute little baby. So,
so cute, adorable.
Yeah, that's amazing. But yeah, so I've been doing Total Galactic War this week, hitting it quite hard, doing about 1 million conquest points a day so far. I think I'm up to 3.4 as of today. Yeah, here I've got it in Photoshop. Here was my meme that I had to put in just to the couple officers who were trying to figure out what to invade. So that's a picture of Onderon.
And Oricon.
And that's a picture of Oricon. And here's Max saying they're the same picture. That is me. So instead of answering them and saying what planet I thought we should invade, I went off and made this meme instead. That's how I
providing roll. Leadership or something.
Yeah. No. First, let me make a meme. Then, first, let me take a selfie. Then I will help you decide what we should invade. So yeah, that has been a lot of fun. I've been cranking out. I took one character, and I'm at about 2 million conquest points on one character that was level 10 to start the week. So do those, do some GSF, level up, do class missions. I think it's only like level 45 at this point, and I've gotten 2 million conquest points just on that one character. Completing the GSF weekly is a big deal. Flying a little GSF each day, all of that kind of thing just racks up the points.
So to AIEers out there that are listening to Max say he's doing 10 million points a day.
Not 10 million.
That is not how we win. How we win is everyone doing a little bit.
Well, yeah, so,
I'm not doing anywhere near as much as Max is, and that's good. That's
fine. And really, mine is a pittance compared to what some of our top earners can and do put up on the board. But
especially back when crafting was a thing.
But you're absolutely right. The way we are winning right now is there's just a ton of people just doing anything fun, and it really works well that way. All right, but as you said, we've got awesome stuff to talk about today. We do have a little bit of news, though, so let's talk about that first.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
First up in the news, as we alluded to in the intro there, Kaizyken was broken. So if we go back, we skipped last week, so we have sort of like 2 weeks of news catch up, but it's still only a couple news items. But 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, the news item would have been Kaizyken is broken and he's not going to get fixed. The update on that is because they have to fix something else, which Seema is going to talk about in just a second, but because they have to fix something else, they are going to fix Kaizyken. Because what happened was, in the timing, the schedule was set up in the code so that Kaizyken's inventory went away when 7.0 was supposed to launch. So all he had on was just the random item, and he lost all of his tacticals and his rotating inventory. They are going to fix that soon, like the next week or two, because they have to fix something else that Seema will talk about. So the people that wanted that stuff off of Kaizyken, you will be able to get that. In 7.0, Kaizyken will still exist. Kaizyken will be one of the few places where you'll be able to, or bother to, or care to spend tech fragments, which will still exist. He will have in 7.0, so February 15th, he will get his new inventory, which will be a rotating selection of tacticals. So there will still be tacticals, and that will be a great place to get them. A rotating selection of the schematics that he currently has, the kinds of things. They said, though, here, they said the rotating collection of crafting schematics for tacticals and set bonuses. So I wonder if there will be some of the earpieces and implants that you will get a crafting schematic for. So we haven't seen that yet. That is a nice little sort of, if they mean what they say, and they say what they mean by that, that means there will be tactical, or the legendaries that you will be able to craft, which is kind of cool. And then he will also have a new special unidentified crate that's kind of like the current one he has, and that will be a place that you can still get any of the set bonus gear from Spoils of War. So if you have not completed your Apex Predator set, you do still have a chance to complete that by spending tech frags on random crates from Kaizyken in perpetuity. It may take you another year to get that last piece of Apex Predator out of one of those boxes, but here's a way to do it. And you'll still be getting some significant amounts of... I think I accidentally completed the GSF Weekly on the PTS today and got like 750 or 800 tech frags off of that. So you'll get tech frags. That kind of thing. So yeah, Zen's asking in the chat, well, will we get the same number of tech frags from the GSF Weekly? It does show the same amount on the PTS based on what I saw today. Now, they could change that next month, but what the PTS is doing today is the same amount of tech frags for completing the dailies and weeklies. But something else broke. What else broke, Seema, that they are going to fix, and that's why we get the Kaizyken fix slipped in?
Yeah, so apparently the guild perk schedule was broken and not working the way it should, so that some guilds were either missing perks or they would buy perks, but they already had perks, so they were wasting resources. So I guess that was important enough that it's going to require downtime to fix, which is what they were trying to avoid and why they weren't fixing Kaizen. And they figured that this was important enough to do the downtime anyway. And since they are going to do that downtime, they're going to put the fix back in for Kaizen as well.
Right. So we will get Kaizen fixed. You can still get some of those pieces when they do come in rotation on Kaizen for a couple more weeks. Now, Intisar, you were just typing out into the chat room. You're recommending people max out their tech frags prior to the. So what? Get like 10K or so tech frags going into the launch. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, because aren't implants bought with tech fragments? So if you've got your max tech fragments, you can.
No, the implants and earpieces will be the legendary items, and those are going to come off of that other guy with a different system. You will still get tacticals off of Kaizen though with the tech frags. So 6 1 half dozen the other. The reason you might still want to spend tech frags right now is not on Kaizen, but the 10,000 to get the OEM component, because for whatever reason, people are banking those because those will still be how you create the top end augments in 7.0. And those are selling for like 70 million or 80 million a piece on the GTN right now. So I am not saving any of my tech frags. I am getting, as soon as I get 10K tech frags, I buy one of those, and I mean to put them on the market. I have not put them on the market. I probably have 4 or so to put on the market. Because I'm not going to make any of those augments for myself because money. Also in the news, the Renown system. So I think Jackie clarified this in the news in detail. Someone asked, are Renown caches going away? And the answer is yes. Renown crates are going away. The Renown system is completely being removed. Renown is gone. That means the Renown caches and probably the Renown interface. Can we even bring up the Renown interface on the PTS? Where is it? Renown.
No, because I'm right clicking on a Renown cache right now and nothing's happening.
So there won't even be a way to, you know how you got that window where you open up all your Renown caches and you've got the Renown. Oh, I've got a bunch of characters that have extra stuff that I've saved in the Renown cache. Clear all that out and clear out those crates because they are going to get nuked.
Yeah,
apparently.
I actually have stuff in the Cartel Market cache I should clear out too. Not that the Cartel Market is going away, but you just don't leave anything in limbo between now and an X pack.
Right. Weekly missions are all getting reset, and they're resetting weekly now. So don't, if you're one match away from GSF and you're thinking you're going to save it, so on the morning of February 15th, you can complete it and get a bunch of XP. Those are probably going to get all reset. Your Aerotech Coral missions are likely going to get reset because they've gotten reset every other expansion. I would recommend get done what you need to get done. Get her done, because
I guess this means I can abandon those half completed swoop race weeklies that I keep carrying forward.
I looked on one of my characters. I was doing all the Feast of Prosperity, and I had I had Rakghoul event stuff where it says return to the quest giver, return to the mission terminal, and turn this in. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
But speaking of events, I guess we have 2 more weeks, right? Seema, what do we got on events wrapping up? So it's just this last event, right?
Yeah. So do we have 2 more weeks of Feast of Prosperity?
It's February 1st is what they said. Oh, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that is close to 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
But what else do we have going on?
So
that's it.
Yeah. So that's it. But yeah, so if anyone needs to finish, especially the story parts, the 3rd chapter of the story either unlocked this week or it's unlocking next Tuesday, because that's how that works for the Feast of Prosperity. If you're doing the story part, I never did the dark side choice. Gaburga is the bad. Which one's the bad one? Duba or Gaburga?
both of them. But just
that's you, Seema. Seema's she's anti-hut. She hates huts. She hates big huts, and she cannot lie.
Yeah, that's right. I must tell the truth. But since you bring up those story missions, those are good conquest targets too. If you complete a Feast of Prosperity story mission.
I have switched over to doing those on like 5 characters per day, doing the ingredients and at least one of either Cantina Rush or the
Yes, for sure
kitchen.
those, but I mean the story ones.
Oh, the story
also.
ones too?
Yeah.
I have not been doing the story ones, but you need a higher level character to be. Isn't a part of it on Mech Shah?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you need to, if you want to finish the story, you need to be able to get to and survive Mech Shah.
Actually, Mech Shah will bolster you if you're low level.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mech Shah is great. I should change my. Where's my background?
You should marry Mech Shah.
I changed there. I just switched. I just swapped to the Mech Shah overlay background. That I like. You marry Mech Shah. You like it too much. And my final news update is just to remind everyone that the PTS is still open. We are on it right now. We're up in the VIP lounge if you want to come up here and photobomb us. But the PTS is still open. You can still test these things as we are, and you can still provide feedback in those feedback threads. Time is running out for them to be able to do anything with that feedback, but it's still open, and they're still keeping an eye on it. They're still taking this kind of thing into account. Shout out to the chat room. Thanks everybody for joining us. I see a bunch of the usual suspects and a couple of first timers in there. That is really awesome. Good to see everybody, and we'll catch up with all of you after the show and do a little Q&A and get some comments from you all on what you're going to be doing with Galactic Season 2 in particular. We were already asking some people, how are you going to do it? And we'll give our views on that in just a moment as well. But first, to introduce our segment, I wanted to show off, to ask the question, who is going to be the new companion for Galactic Season 2?
I want to know who shall take on this very dangerous task.
That would be me. Cat Bane at your service. I'll take on any job for the right price.
Cad Bane. Well, not Cad Bane, but kind of Cad Bane. So, Intisar, is it Cad Bane? It's not Cad Bane.
It's Chad Bane.
Chad Bane. They should. Well, I know they don't like to. They don't like to tie it too directly to things that are 2,000 years into the future. So they probably wouldn't have called it Bane, but we did get, we have Shea Vizsla, who's sort of tied to the future in some ways. They could have done like the great grandfather of Cad Bane and made it like Matthew Bane or whatever his name might be. But they did say, didn't David say it is somewhat modeled off of, or I think in one of the streams they said it's inspired by Cad Bane a little bit. They wanted to get a Duros in because it's a popular race because of Cad Bane. So it is in there. And you've got it unlocked right here, I see.
Yep.
So you went on the PTS and just did stuff in Galactic Season so far on the PTS to unlock this and the mount too. Why don't you pop that mount out, and then we'll start talking about your interview too. So this is they front loaded some of this stuff, but not the second mount. So this is the first mount that you get. Oh, it's got 4 eyes. Here's the big round bouncy
big boy. Yeah.
If you're doing the feast event, you can buy the baby version from the vendor.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Is that what it is? It's a little.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did buy one of them today because I had points I had to get rid of, so I bought another one of those little pets.
Well, they have the hairless mudhorn also as a pet.
Yeah.
Which is the Mandalorian inspired pet.
Right. Which I already have that one.
So 2 things happened this week with relation to getting some news on the Galactic season. One, the more boring version. He is in the public forums. David Stats put a post in here and he said, here's all of our plans for Galactic season 2, and he wrote words. The better version, which I recommend highly to anyone, and which is we're mostly going to talk about right now. Where did I lost it? Where did I put it? Is on Intisar's website this week in Orabesh, the Galactic season interview with David Stats. So, how did this get started? How did you even get the idea to get these notes and interview from David on this stuff for Galactic season 2?
Well, as part of the promotional push for Legacy of the Sith, the SWTOR team reached out to me and asked if I'd like to interview him. And so I took a couple of weeks to prepare some questions and talk to folks I know about, concerns and questions they had about the previous season and what they hope for the next season, and sort of compiled them and tried to put them all together. And then I sent them off to BioWare. And then uh, David came back with some amazing answers. Just every question he answered fully and completely. Didn't dodge anything. Dived right into the details, and I was super impressed. And I am very proud that I got to share this with the SWTOR community.
I agree. It came out great, and I'm serious that the version of the notes in the interview are more detailed and get into more interesting background on the topics, more of the why, which is really what we like to hear about, of why they're doing it the way they're doing it, and the rationale for a bunch of the changes, much more than the blog post does. So yeah, really glad that you got a chance to do that, and really impressed with both your questions and then the answers that came back. So let's unpack it a little bit. Let's get into it a little bit. I think one of the first things that you kicked it off with is this idea of weekly objectives versus daily objectives, and what their shifting priority and tweaking of that is going to be, which is, I think, is one of the key differences. I feel like season 2 versus season 1 is a lot substantially similar. But this is a key tweak, which I think we will feel day to day more than we expect.
I think it's going to make it feel a lot different. Yeah.
So what is your summary of what they're doing here, and what's your opinion? Are you happy with it or not?
Oh, I'm pretty happy with it. With the first season, you basically, well, he talks about this later, but it felt like you had to log on every day and do something. It didn't take that long to get your daily objectives done, but it was something you had to do every day, day after day, for 3 months. And this, there's a daily objective, but it's pretty easy, and it's not a ton of points. So if you just want to log on one day a week and do all your objectives, you can do that. That's pretty much what I did on the PTS, and it took a little while, but I didn't have guild perks, and that'll make a big difference, especially with score a whole bunch of conquest points. But I got most of the objectives done in one evening of play.
So you got most of the weekly objectives done, you're saying?
Yep.
In one evening of play. That's interesting.
What kind of weekly objectives did you do on that one night?
I did the Starfighter one. I did the Flashpoint one. The Flashpoint one was nice because I was able to do it in solo mode.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, I did read that.
The Flashpoint, it was Secrets of the Enclave. And so you got extra points for doing that specific Flashpoint, and then you got extra points for doing the bonus boss. So I got full points just for running one solo mode Flashpoint.
So there's a bonus boss in the solo mode of that instance?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Not all the Flashpoints have bonus bosses.
Right.
In solo mode anyway, or veteran mode, but that one does.
Where do we see those daily and weekly priorities, missions? Where do those show up? I thought they showed up on the Conquest tab, but they are not.
Oh yeah, so they don't separate the tabs very well, but there's season objectives.
Oh, they're
Conquest.
they're gonna change that. Yeah, it's terrible right now. Conquest objectives and season objectives. These are actually tabs, but unless you hover over them, it just looks like one. It just looks like text up there. I did see a note in the feedback in the forums that they're going to fix that and make it much more apparent that there's two tabs there. Got it. Okay, so here's Forging Darkness, which is how do we tell which is a weekly and which is a daily? Oh, so Influencing the Galaxy is the only daily, and that's got the little repeatable triangle next to it.
Right.
So the only daily that they're going to have going forward is once a day. If you get in and do 25,000 conquest points across your legacy at all, you've completed the daily. But it's minor, right? It's what? It's only 2 season points, as opposed to 6 for each of the weeklies, and you have 6, 9, 10 weeklies to choose from. And you can do them all.
You can do 7 of them.
Yeah,
7. Yeah. So you can complete 7. Daily complete. Somehow I completed the daily. Oh, because I got conquest points. And you said you completed in a long evening, but you completed all 7 in one sitting. Nice.
Yeah, I did the space missions. That was easy. Like I said, the solo flashpoint. Like weeklies, black hole,
Yep.
on. Those aren't bad.
GSI weekly, which is long, but
yeah. And it looks like they're shifting so it's not the same ones every week. So you won't have to do black hole week after week after week.
Right. They did say that they'll be rotating those.
I think I had CZ or maybe one of the other dailies the night I did it.
Got it.
And then I also had to kill mobs on Coruscant, which is not real exciting, but it wasn't hard.
One of the things that I saw in the interview that I wanted your take on, and you as well, Seema, is David did go into some detail again about the design of Galactic Seasons and how it differs from Conquest. And one of the points he made was Conquest is sort of set up that you do whatever you want. You just do anything in the game and you get conquest points. We've made memes about it. If you're shorter than Musco, you get conquest points. If you're taller than Musco, you also get conquest points.
Right.
Log in and you sneeze, you get conquest points. The season is set up, and these objectives, especially these weekly objectives, are set up to get you to do other things and to get you outside of your comfort zone and to get you to try more things in the game, which I could see that being a reasonable objective.
And that has actually, that's definitely worked for some people.
How about for you, Seema? Has that worked for you? Do you foresee?
Oh, no, that's not my thing. Being open to new experiences? Nuh-uh.
Well, not that you're going to go do a bunch of ranked PvP, but you do everything in the game anyway. So it's less for you. I think it would be like someone who doesn't craft at all, seeing the Craft 5 Dark Projects and Craft 5 Invasion Forces and learning how to craft an invasion force on their own.
And then someone like me, I don't need to be exposed to GSF because I have tried GSF several times now. And
you've done everything.
And
Intisar, I'm sure you've done everything as well. But what's your view on this, on the rationale? Do you agree with it? Did you hear any feedback from people that they did or didn't like that? And what do you think?
Well, there's lots of people who don't like GSF. The learning curve for that is really, really tough.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done it in years, but I jumped back in. I was terrible. But, the first time I got a kill, I won't lie, I was like, yes.
I believe you.
But so I don't mind when the game rewards me for trying something new.
Mm-hmm.
And at least with GSF, you don't actually have to win. You just have to try.
Yeah.
And for the PvP stuff, I don't blame anyone who doesn't want to do PvP. Um, but I don't mind doing unranked nowadays. I don't do ranked anymore, but I think getting in a fun unranked match is pretty fun.
But it sounds like you can still be successful with Galactic Seasons 2, even if you don't want to do GSF or conventional PvP.
Yeah, so like I don't even know what the PvP objectives are anymore, but
Oh, well, here
they're
it's actually better than I thought. My problem with the PvP objectives lately, if you want to do the daily or the weekly, even in unranked, is it's wins only. The daily and the weekly,
yeah.
and even this is the thing that really grinds my gears. Brand new character, you get to level 10 and you get that first PvP introduction to war zones, and the introduction to war zones is win a
Yes.
match. It could take you hours as a new player, new to war zones, to like, you could get on a loss streak and it's random. That really grinds my gears. But this isn't it. So here I'm hovering over the weekly, the PvP weekly, and it's earn 45 Warzone medals. That
Oh,
is
that's not bad.
that's a good objective. If you're better, you can get 12, 15 medals in a match. But if you're not, it's hard to not get any medals in a match. You're not going to get just one or two. And if your team wins, you get some extra medals for winning. That's really not bad. That's
All you have to do is try.
yeah, try. And if you're a healer and you only heal, you get a bunch of healing medals. If you're a tank and you put guard on people, you get tanking medals. So yeah, this is a good one. They did a good job. That's okay with me.
But again, if you don't like PvP, you don't have to do that one. You've got 9 other objectives that you can
so you
choose
get
from.
3 that you can cross off and still do every weekly objective every week. Get 3 per week, and they do rotate, but 3 per week that you can cross off and not have to do. So yeah, you could just not do that one. 5 invasion forces, 5 dart projects, crafting for the week. That's a good one because learning crafting, those then become valuable. You actually make profit off of doing this if you learn how to do that. GSI weekly, obtain 60 Underworld Syndicate plans. Can you explain the Underworld Syndicate plans and how they play in?
Sure. So those are sort of extra rewards that you get from just doing stuff now. You'll get them from completing objectives. I've also found you get them from mobs in certain areas.
Oh,
I was
really?
doing heroics on Nar Shaddaa, and the mobs were dropping these things occasionally. And you collect enough of them, and you can turn them in with this guy on Nar Shaddaa for a rep with a new faction, which is associated with Fen.
Mm-mm.
And what is it a currency? Is it a currency, and is it legacy wide currency, or do you know? Do you know yet?
Let's see.
I don't have any yet, so that I can see. Underworld Syndicate plans. No.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, it's an event currency.
Event currencies. Yeah, so I don't have them yet, but okay, currency is better than not. And can you tell if it's legacy or not?
I cannot tell.
Okay. Hopefully it's legacy.
Oh no, binds to legacy. So yes.
Okay. Great. So that's good. Step 1. Step 2, then tell me about which I didn't get all the details on. Tell me about the rep and why is it just another rep to get, or do we care about it? Do you get something at legendary status, or what's up with the rep?
As far as I've been able to tell right now, there's just legacy titles that you get as you go up, the revered, legendary tracks. I don't know if there's a rep vendor. There is a Jawa in the cartel market who will sell you an item which gives you more chances to get the underworld intelligence things from
Oh,
mobs.
interesting.
And you can buy that with I think purple Jawa junk.
Oh, there's a little tip. And we've all got stacks and stacks of Java junk sitting
Yes.
around.
I have thousands and thousands.
I have like bank tabs full of stacks of 10,000. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But if there's a rep vendor out there, I have not found it.
Okay.
There's they added in this thing, Sparks of War, too, which is defeat champions, Republic or Imperial Guard droids and turrets across Macabre, Quest, and Voss, for instance. That's awesome, because we missed having that one.
Yeah, that used to be a conquest objective, right? Way back.
Yeah.
And that
was fun.
That's
But
a
I'm
great
looking at
one to
this
do
at-
as a guild event.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
looking
that's
at this,
great.
though, Intisar, and how can I tell which ones of these objectives are weeklies and which ones are is there only one daily each day,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
and then
And it's the
everything else is a
same.
weekly?
Yeah. And it's the same daily every day. So the one at the very bottom is the daily, and it's that it never changes.
Okay, so that's earned 25,000 conquest points.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. Cool. Yeah, Sparks of War. I'm glad we have that. And then there was another one that I thought was interesting, which is the one below that, which is called This Will Do Nicely, which is you have to affect 15 enemies with destructible objects. So
I can see that being a little bit.
I mean, somebody's
going to competition there out in the world.
Yeah, and somebody's gonna have to put together a guide on that. I'm sure there's gonna be some like
heroics and stuff that are hit instanced.
Yeah. Go into Black Talon, blow up these 3 things, and then reset it and do that 3 times, and then it's done. Kind of thing. So somebody will figure that out. But trying something different. I like them doing that. That seems reasonable to me. So yeah. Go ahead.
So let me ask you though, Intisar, do you have any sense of like how many weeklies you would need to accomplish every week to complete the season in if you were going to take the whole 5 months to do it, for instance?
Oh, I have not calculated that. Well, part of it is that you can get a different amount of points.
Yeah, I was reading that. Can we just talk about that a little bit?
Like if you do the heroic space missions, you get more points than if you do the regular ones.
Yes.
Yeah, some of these are only worth 6 and some are worth 12. And the amount of syndicate plans varies as well. Okay. So you would have to do the 7 most valuable plus the daily. If you're trying to like get it as quickly as possible without spending any cartel coins, you would have to make sure you did the 7 most valuable. What you said you got to, what level did you get to this week in just doing the one night?
8.
All right, so you already got to level 8 out of 100, with one day's worth of work.
Oh, and I did the weekly thing where you log in twice. So
okay. Oh, right. So that's then we're at about 12 weeks, 12 to 14 weeks, just doing a night of dailies a week.
A night of weeklies.
A night of weeklies a week. Yeah. Not insignificant, but not all that bad either. So that seems reasonable. But and then that leads to this next point that you talked to David about, which was how long are the seasons? Do they intend them to continue to be long? And this one will be long. And I noticed in the interview, and this was a problem with season 1, he specifies the end date. So we already know the start and the end date, because they got sort of beat up about that the first time around. So what are the start and end dates, and what do you think of the length of the season? Do you think it should be longer or shorter?
So it's starting with the launch of the expansion on the 15th of February and ending July 5th.
Yeah.
Which is 5 months, 4 months?
Yeah, 5 months.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that feels good. I mean, I like you, Max, I busted my hump to finish season 1 in the minimum amount of time. And it was funny, like David mentioned this in the interview, is that he didn't think people would do that. He thought people would just sort of lollygag their way through, like someone else in this group. And so I think I'm going to take my lead from that, and I'm just going to like take it easy. I got 5 months to do this. I'll just do what I want to do and not worry if I don't max out my points every week because I've
I
got
think
plenty of time.
I'm going to do it that way again, I think too. At
Okay.
least until I kind of figure out, you know, what parts of it I like to do. And yeah,
To be
I like
clear,
to have
yeah.
what?
To be clear, Seema was neither early nor late, but arrived exactly when she meant to.
That's right.
A metal
Just
knot in the
poking
affairs
along,
of Seema.
poking along, doing what I did. I ended up completing it about a month early.
Yeah, which my conclusion after last season was that that is the way it intended to be done and the right way to do it. We'll see. I may do it the hard way again, the hardcore way again,
The
at
main
least for a
thing that
little while.
I want to avoid is having to do it the hard way because I left it for the last month.
But
Oh yeah.
as you said though, what's the stopgap? What's the failsafe? Spend a couple
Cartel coins.
cartel coins. I didn't
Yep.
look. Are they still giving away cartel coins along the way? In the
Yeah, because there's no cartel coins on the PTS, so they left those blank.
okay,
Yes.
all right,
Yeah.
So I'm assuming in the track where it's blank, there'll be cartel coin rewards.
got it. And didn't you put a picture in of the entire track? But I think they said there will be something in the subscriber track for every single slot.
Yeah.
So yeah, those would probably be like little cartel coin grants along the way. So even if you spend cartel coins, you're getting cartel coins for going through it. To spend enough cartel coins to get to the very end, you don't get all of those back, but you do get about a third of them back. A third or a quarter of them back. So getting to the end and being short and coming up to the end and needing to buy out the last 10 ranks or so out of 100 is not a bad deal at all.
No, and you can look at the schedule of rewards because it's all published, and you can say, are these rewards left that I haven't gotten yet worth what they would cost me?
Right.
You can make that decision for yourself.
And as the chat room is alluding to as well, you can spend credits to
Yes.
jump ahead as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna do that.
But I would spend credits before I'd spend cartel coins because
Oh, for sure.
credits are flying off the shelves right now. But sell those OEMs and RPMs, and you'll have millions and millions of credits. And
that's what I did on Satil Shan. I have a couple characters there, and it got to the end of the season. I was like, well, if I spend 30 million credits, I get 400 cartel coins. I was like, well, that's a good deal.
I know a couple people, one of them is in the chat room right now, who do Galactic seasons on all the servers. So just for getting all of those extra cartel coins and being able to unlock cool things. The cartel coins are account based. Go for it.
I mean, I for one am really glad that we already know the end date, because even though I say I'm doing this lollygagging approach, I'm one of the people that was all balled up about knowing the exact end date. That was driving me insane because I wanted to put it in my spreadsheet.
Right. Spreadsheet. That's exactly what I was thinking. Spreadsheet time. Let's get that spreadsheet going. Excellent. We've mentioned it a couple times so far, front loading a bunch of the good stuff at the beginning, but still having some good things at the end. What's your view on that, and the rewards this season, Intisar?
Yeah, what do you think about the rewards?
I think the rewards overall are better. In fact, I think they're easily better this time around. I can't say an Aardvark companion was high on my wish list of Star
Arthur?
Wars. Yeah.
But
yeah, a guy based on Cad Bane, that's pretty cool. The weapons are pretty neat, I have to say. I think this giant mount is ridiculously awesome. and the speeder that we get if you get to rank 100, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like that speeder.
One thing about the season 1 is that I think the rewards kind of ran out of steam around like 2/3 of the way through,
Mm.
and there wasn't much left. Once like you don't get, you got a token and some cartel coins maybe at rank 100, which is, it's nice, but it's not exciting. So I
Mm-hmm.
think having like a special speeder waiting for you when you get to the end, um, is pretty neat. And I don't know how many people, other than folks who are just going to unlock it day one, are going to, stick with it all the way to the end.
There are some good things at the end. We were saying this mount, so the creature mount comes early, and that's cool. And I think the creature mount's probably a little cooler than this mount, but I like this mount too. And it's got a little animation. It's got a cool vapor effect coming off the top. It's long. It's gonna get caught on things, but that's okay. We were talking about that. But I guess I agree. I think I don't like the armor set all that much. That's not to be a complainer. I don't like the armor set all that much. I wish they leaned into the Cad Bane aesthetic just a little bit more and actually gave us a Cad Bane outfit, especially
Big floppy hat.
especially the hat. Why do we not get the hat? Did you ask?
I think they can't make one.
Because they have problems clipping people's heads through everything as it stands right now anyway.
Yeah, and when they did make like Nico Carr's hat, everyone complained that it had that sort of bandana piece.
There is right. There are a couple hats that come close.
Yeah.
In the game, there's one that comes close. It's closer to Nico's hat than it is to this one. None of them really come that close to this. But yeah, they do have problems with hats,
hairdos
right?
and appendages and stuff.
But I think people would have paid double for the to get that hat, and to get
I wonder if they thought it was like too much on the nose.
That's the other thing. So you saying that I think is key, and it is a design constraint that they put upon themselves. They don't like to do things that are exact replicas of stuff in current lore. They break that rule here and there, and you notice it because of the exceptions, but they don't like to do that too much, which I can respect. But I bet if Fortnite wanted to put that hat in, they'd put it in a second.
Yes.
Fortnite has Baby Yoda. I mean, there's a Baby Yoda running around in The Sims, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
So, where's my Baby Yoda, Charles?
So for us not to, for them to get it there in like The Sims and in Fortnite and all these other properties, and in the Star Wars game, we can't get the Star Wars things because they want to be pure. That I don't know. It doesn't seem to match up in my head as clearly as it could. Here's something I've rewards wise. Do you know how many tokens are we getting? And there's not another stronghold, so we can get the second stronghold, so we can get both of the penthouses this time around by getting the one extra token that we need to unlock our 16th token to unlock the second penthouse. There's not another stronghold to unlock though this time around, is there?
I don't believe so, but they've added some new stuff to buy with the tokens.
Do you know what they've added? Anything interesting?
It's companion customizations for Nico, who we just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
Plus the ship droid and Darth Hexid and and Ranos.
Hmm.
So yeah, companion customizations are not the most exciting thing.
Right. It's not a stronghold. I will get. Did you get one of the strongholds last time around?
Yes, I got the fleet or Republic fleet stronghold.
Republic side.
Yep.
I got the Imperial side. I like that aesthetic a little bit better, but I want them both. And so, when is it? Not week 1. When's our first token come? Yeah, level 6. So at level 6, really then practically the first day, on February 15th, you could unlock your second stronghold.
Right.
So there you go. Cool.
But I mean, we have to spend some time sort of thinking about whether we want those tokens for something new, though.
Yeah,
too.
we will have to look at the vendor and ponder that for the 6 seconds before I veto that and get the stronghold. I think paying customization, so. I like Darth Hexed, how she is right now. She's sassy enough as it is. Darling.
Right. I do feel that companion customizations are kind of, because I get used to them the way they are.
Yeah, and you really got to like zoom in
like
and to even see them. And
I mean, Nico is Nico.
If
so is Darth Hexed.
If it was a companion customization that made like Nico twice as big, or like,
or made him into like a big blue balloon or something.
Yeah. Oh, here's the question. What if the floppy hat customization for Fen costs tokens?
Oh, definitely.
Well, but I want the floppy hat on me.
On you.
Because the armor set, you can wear the armor set that they give you. It's not just, there are customizations for Fen that are in here too, but there's 2 or 3 of these Shadow Initiate armor sets. I think it's 2 of the Shadow Initiate armor sets that you get, which I don't even like. I don't like the skirt, and I don't like this hat. Check out these hat. What is with this hat? I don't want this on my head. It's like a trash compactor with like 2 eye holes. Just get up on out of here with those eye holes. All right. So we'll see. There could be some interesting rewards. If the hat was a reward for tokens, I would spend all the tokens to get the hat. Because hats are cool. I like the hats.
SWTOR needs a good hat, that's for sure.
You asked David about rewards from the older seasons. So if someone wasn't around in Galactic Season 1, could they get Arthur, the Aardvark? What was his response? Oh, his response was kind of like maybe. So what was the summary there, and what is your view of that?
It does seem like if you missed out, you've missed out. And I'm okay with that. You know, I know fear of missing out is a thing, and maybe it's not the best feeling you want people to have, but I mean, it's just that there's lots of companions, you know.
Yeah.
Even
you'll be fine without Arthur. You just can't have everything all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's okay having stuff that, you know, indicate, oh, you were playing at this time. And
right.
So you got the thing that you can't get anymore. As long as it's not, you know, as long as it doesn't affect how good you are in the game. It's just It's just another companion who shoots stuff.
No pay to win. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all cosmetics, and as you said, you know, Arthur wasn't all that exciting. So if someone missed out on Arthur.
That's why I took Candy Crush off my phone, because it's pay to win.
It is. Well, yeah. It's pay to not be annoyed, and you get annoyed really fast.
I know. It's not really pay to win. It's pay to play, but in a really annoying way.
In annoying way. It's designed to be annoying to make you pay money because you're so annoyed. And that's the worst kind of game design in my view. But maybe Microsoft's going to fix that. That's separate news.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Microsoft owns Candy Crush now.
Yep.
And Microsoft is pretty good about their monetization strategies, in my view. So Zen was asking in the chat room, maybe they can bring Arthur back sometime in the future. Yeah, David did allude to that and said it's possible, but they're leaning towards keeping some of that stuff exclusive.
I feel like in general they would never say never.
Right. But
because they have brought things back, and I mean, I know this sounds pretty mamby-pamby, but I'm okay with that too. Like, I don't need to have something that other people can't get.
Right. I never get offended if something that was kind of rare and I got that someone else gets it later. But some people really do.
Yeah.
Some people.
Oh yeah. I will
But I
say though, they brought Nico back as a subscriber reward a couple times, or
Yep.
once, or twice, and it wasn't awesome because I got him, the first time he came around, and then logging on and everybody is getting Nico for the first time, and I get nothing. I was like, well, where's my subscriber reward?
Yeah.
yeah, that's an excellent point.
They
So
brought HK55 back as
yeah,
well, but you had to pay for that. That was a significant number of cartel coins to unlock that chapter, which they expressed and explained when they did that they did want to make it. They did want some barrier to entry there, that it wasn't just giving everybody something that you worked hard for. But you're right, because in the case of what they did with Nico, it might feel bad, and that's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
unfair.
that's more of how they implemented it than can other people get it.
right. So
Like,
yeah, I think
you're
if they
right.
put it on the vendor and you can buy Arthur with tokens next year, I would be fine with that, as long as there are other things that maybe I would want to spend my tokens on instead.
Right. Right.
Oh, there's a
Yeah,
second version of that Thurb mount that you get later on, a white version. That's cool. Big round bouncy boy with the fin on the back. Boy, he is a sight to behold. And what's the little ball hanging off the stick? What do you think is in there?
I think it's a lantern.
You think it's a lantern? It doesn't light up, and they could make it light up if it was a light source, though. I think it's filled with something. Simo, what is it
bees.
filled with? What?
It's filled with bees.
Bees? That is the correct answer. It is filled
Oh,
with bees.
and he's trying to run away from the bees. That's how he goes.
That's
Yeah.
it's sort of like carrot and stick kind of thing. It's the bees that makes the mount go, because he wants to get away from the bees, not the bees, space bees, of course. But yeah,
The Nuvuda bees. That's canon, by the way.
really,
Yeah.
there we
Yep.
go. Intisar pulling out the excellent canon. I was reading this MMO design thing. One of the MMOs that there was set. I think it was even maybe one of the ones that Riot did, or just an RPG. It was set in more medieval times, but they still wanted to have kind of like a grenade. So the grenade that they made was a bag of bees. So you could look that up. You throw a bag of bees at the enemy, and that was the grenade. Because they basically
Doesn't Treek do that?
Treek, yeah, Treek.
Yeah, she had something like
some sort of insect swarm that she throws. She's got a few things.
beehive. Yeah.
Treek's got some awesome effects. If no one has ever seen all of Treek's effects, the best way to observe those Treek effects is for you and another player to get out your Treek companions, duel each other, and let the Treek companions fight each other. So take your Treek companion, target the other Treek companion, and use a Treek ability. They'll then fight each other, and you can stand back and watch a Treek fight. And that is epic. She uses a little hang glider to like her leap in. She uses the like a slingshot heal thing on herself. They throw bees. That is quite cool. Companion fights are fun, a fun pastime. Maybe a little cruel, but fight for my entertainment. Make them do that anyway.
Let them fight.
And then the way you wrapped it up with David, I thought was interesting. Just to think into the future, where is this going to go? It's companion. It's kind of wrapped around the companion again this time around. They added in the faction reputation, which I thought was a little bit of an extra twist, and the Underworld Syndicate plan's currency. What was your view of what he sort of is looking at in the future, and what is your speculation on where you think they're going to go?
This answer impressed me because I thought I would get one of those BioWare answers where they're like, well, we can't really
Just
tell
we'll
right
wait
now,
and
but all
see.
options, yeah, that's a terrific question. But yeah, I talked about, not only about the companion, but how they're sort of thematically tying in some of the objectives and the rewards to this whole underworld thing and how that's kind of a big deal in Star Wars right now, especially with like the Mandalorian. Um, so yeah, he doesn't talk about what's coming next, but I think we'll get something similar. I think we might get like a Jedi or a Sith companion next time around. That seems like they would tie into the expansion theme,
Sure.
and um, yeah, I don't know.
I think you're right. I think you're right. And I think if you really look at what they did, even with season 2 and what's coming, he says here, season 2, we landed on syndicates of the underworld as the theme. So yes, it's the companion, but the syndicates of the underworld and the underworld, that sort of underworld theme, he says it's a theme which is extremely prevalent throughout Star Wars stories, from the original trilogy to the Clone Wars, and it's in Mandalorian, the underworld and the syndicates, and bringing. I really like the idea of bringing some of those almost expanded universe, like subsets, of like some of the other factions out there, maybe using this as a vehicle to pull some of those in and not having to
Yeah.
always rely on, Jedi, Sith, Mandalorians, and Imperials and Republic troopers. So yeah, that's goes further than I thought, and I like that thinking. Now, still tying it to the current content, and maybe picking like what is it, the seventh, the seventh. Who were the Jedi that added like a seventh or a
Oh, the sixth line.
sixth line Jedi faction? We got those
Yeah,
in
from
one of.
Ziost.
Yeah, okay, Ziost. So it was they added a sixth line to the Jedi Code, and they sort of had like their own little faction and group around that kind of thing. So pull something like that out of lore and maybe out of the expanded universe, bring that in through the kind of thing as a vehicle. Heck, bring the Gree in, and let's get them back.
I would love that.
Yeah, let's get a Gree companion that follows you around.
I want the Gree to come back and tell us the results of all their testing on us and with the Xeno analyst.
Yeah, I think the answer is you're weak, your bloodline is weak, and you won't survive the winter.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Darklight Smooth Wolf in the chat room pulls out the sixth line. There is no contemplation. There is only duty. He said duty. Don't mind me, just ruining the lore.
I could never be a Jedi. That kind of Jedi, because I'm too into coffee and contemplation.
There is duty. Well, because they were more like a militant wing, and it was, this is not, you don't get to sit around and analysis paralysis. You have a job to do. Go do your duty. So there we go. All right. Anything else to wrap it up? Are your summary notes, Intisar? You said you are happy with season 2.
Yes, I'm looking forward to hopping back in once I'm done with the story, of course.
Right. Once we get to.
Oh, that's an excellent point. Once we're done with the story, I don't know.
Yeah, but we gotta do your stuff. Well, you got a week. I mean, doing the story, you'll complete the daily just by doing the story, I'm sure.
Yes.
And like leveling up and everything. So you don't have to worry about the dailies. So as long as within the first week you do 7 of the weeklies, you're still on track and you've hit everything to 100%.
And I figure I'll level some alts.
Yep.
And just doing flashpoints or heroics or operations if I can.
And I want to play around with combat styles and making all my sages be shadows.
Right.
That's right. Everybody's taking a stealth class.
Yeah, not my two mains.
At least on my sages. That's my plan on my sages anyway. We'll see.
My two mains are going to become mirrors of each other. My Vanguard's going to take a mercenary second style, and my mercenary is going to take a Vanguard second style. so that they're basically interchangeable between what I need to do, tanking or DPS on either side.
On my mercenary, I think I'm going to have decision paralysis for quite a while.
Because you heal so much for our ops teams and our groups. Well, you could tank, do a tank, Seema, do this, do a tank.
Well,
Well,
I mean, I could, because I could tank things on, sort of like MFN nights and stuff where you don't really have to know how to tank, like if we're going to do Gargath or something.
well, I mean, you could tank for our ops team too. It's not like you don't know how to tank. But yeah, I think
that would make our
we
ops
will have
night very entertaining for me.
for some definition of entertaining, meaning probably the opposite of what we're saying right now. Yes. I'm smelling what you're cooking.
If you heal, I will tank.
And what about you, Intisar? What do you get? You got any summary to wrap it up? A summary of what you're going to do with styles?
I'm going to take my Intisar. My main is Sage right now. I'm going to give her Shadow so I can tank. My Trooper tank has been my main tank, for years now. And I kind of, since I'm mainly tanking, I want to tank on my main character, and I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Nice.
That's nice. Because then you can have your main and you can do more with it. That it's going to be a good effect of styles. And for me, the rest of my styles are all going to be Harry styles. I think with that, we can wrap it up. We can take EPC 411 and kick out an airlock to broadcast this episode 411, 411 to everybody out there.
Wait, before we close up, we have a couple more things, right? I mean, I have a comment. You didn't ask me if I had a comment.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you do a comment? And then, I did want to talk to Intisar as part
of my
of
comment is, yes, we've been talking to Intisar about his post for Galactic Seasons 2, but if you want an interesting read, check out his blog in general, and especially like 2 weeks ago, we did our episode on predictions and wishes, and Intisar has a very intriguing article about his own predictions. So if you go over there, you can read all about that.
Oh, I missed that one.
My predictions kind of went off the rails this year, so.
Well, I mean, that's what predictions are meant to do. So that was my comment. And then also we wanted to give Intisar a minute to talk about something he's gotten going on his blog as well.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned this earlier, that the renown system is going away. And I have been storing in my renown stash literally hundreds of Groffets and Ginks pets. And I am giving them away to anyone who wants them. I made a character on the Sith side named I am space the Groffet, or sorry, I am the space Groffet. You can see it on the screen. And you just send him a note, and I will send you a Ginks and a Groffet, as many as you want. If you want more than one, let me know. I've literally hundreds to spare, and I will gladly give them away. I've been going to the starter planets, standing outside the Sith and Jedi temples, just giving them to people as they run by. So if you want a
awesome.
Pet, the Ginks is the closest the game is ever going to get to Baby Yoda. So
kinda,
I
yeah.
think,
there you go.
If you want
the Ginkses are adorable.
Have you had anyone freak out and not take it because they think it's some sort of scam?
No, not yet. Although I have gotten some really genuinely touching replies from people. Like, I've made people happy by giving them like a pig and a frog, and it's made my day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have a guildie, Thon, who made a Santa Claus character, and was giving away 1 million credits to on the fleet to people as a little holiday giveaway. And he had people declining it because they thought it was some sort of scam. He had trouble giving away 1 million credits per person. So but yeah, you give somebody, you put a pet in trade, and especially for people new to the game, we're all old timers. We have tons of pets, tons of mounts, that kind of thing. You forget what it was like to start out and not have any of that in any of your collections, and get your first couple pets and mounts and go, this is so cool.
And even if you are an old timer, your new character doesn't have any pets.
Yeah. And as you say, the Ginks and the Groffit, they're great. They're good. All right, so that's the website. Where else can people find you? So I've got generic-hero.com/thisweekinarabesh. That's the main website. And where else should people be looking and finding you, and what else is good contacts for you?
I am also on the Twitter, and that is at Intisar Nor, capital Nor. Sorry, New Outriders is my guild, so that is what the Nor is.
I was going to ask what the Nor was. Yeah,
and
that's right.
I am on Instagram, but I don't update that very much. So yeah, Twitter's probably the best way to find out what I'm up to.
Great. And I tagged Intisar NOR on our post tonight. If anybody is following us, also just quick follow Intisar and you'll see him there as well. And for us, for our stuff, for our podcast, you can follow me at Max the Gray. That's what Seema and I keep an eye on, and where we post when we go live and when we have awesome people like Intisar on. And if you know anybody that should be playing with us and Intisar on Starforge, they can come say hi. They can get a pet from Intisar, and they can check out our guild at aie-guild.org. Up in the upper right of our guild website is where you can find our guild Discord and jump in and say hi. I think Intisar is in our Discord from time to time as well. You can check out New Outriders and get their info there. Say hi. Great guilds across the community. Highly recommend it to everyone. That's kind of why we do this. But there are so many excellent guilds. It's a great way to experience the game in the community. So jump in with either New Outriders, with us, with any of the other guilds on Starforge, and you will have an excellent time. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone. Thank you, Intisar.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
Thanks.